Hello everybody. Hello Sage. How are we all doing tonight? Haven't even caught up on the previous streams for this game, so you have absolutely no clue what is happening. Oh boy, let me try to catch you up real quick. So Shiro's been training with Saber, fought against Ryder, defeated Ryder, in fact. Saber's noble phantasm was revealed to be Excalibur. I think that's all the major points. How was my Thanksgiving? Shockingly decent. Normally I dread holidays, but it wasn't too bad. How was your Thanksgiving? Alright, let me take a look at the flow chart here. Oh wait, this is day 11. I said day 10 in a post I made. Alright, so the day we're doing tonight is extremely long. So I don't know if we're going to get through it all tonight. We shall see, we shall see. So, oh, let me see how many potential bad ends there are tonight. One, which comes very early in the day. Two, which comes at the very end. Wow. Surprising. I kind of thought there would be more potential bad ends here. Alright, so we have 2 potential bad ends in this day. Surprisingly chill and made vegan pumpkin pie for the first time and it was very good. Nice! Nice, nice. Alright, so let us get this underway. Day 11. Arturia. The girl who had just finished her rite of passage would be known by that name from that day on. It was a time of chaos and war. It began with the demise of an empire. An empire believed to be indestructible was only awaiting its destruction at the hands of invading barbarians. To prepare for the war against these barbarians, the empire deprived this island country of any military forces. That was the beginning. Once her country lost the empire's protection, it could not escape becoming independent, and it broke into smaller countries in no time. It was also the first time in years that you made a pie crust from scratch and it turned out perfect other than being slightly too thick. Oh, nice! The barbarian invasions. Self-destructive strife between clans. A long period of war that would later be called the Dark Ages. She was born into this period as the heir to the throne. It was a long period of chaos. The king believed the Magus's prophecy and yearned for the birth of his appointed successor. But the child that was born was not the one the king desired. The child was not a boy. Even if the child was fated to become a king, he could not make a child that was not a boy his successor. The girl was entrusted to the king's vassals and raised as the child of a mere knight. The king fell into despair, but the Magus was delighted. The sex of the one who would become king had never mattered. He was confident that the fact of the girl being separated from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof that she would become king. The girl grew up as the successor under the simple and wise old knight. The old knight did not really believe the Magus's prophecy. He just felt the same air from the girl as he did from his king, so he felt that he must raise her as a knight, and he wished her to grow. But the knight did not even have to wish for such a thing, as the girl trained day after day to become stronger than anyone. If only a king can save a ruined country headed for death, the girl swore to bear a sword for that reason alone, without ever being told so. So, the day of the prophecy arrived. Knights and lords from around the country gathered to be selected as the king. Every one of them expected the selection to be through jousting, if the most superior one was to become king. But the only thing prepared at the place of selection was a naked sword stuck in a stone. On the hilt of the sword was a golden inscription. Whosoe'er pulleth this sword of this stone, pulleth out this sword of this stone, is rightwise king born of England. Many knights grabbed the sword, following that command. But no one was able to pull the sword out, and the knights began the expected method of selection by jousting. As the girl was only an apprentice, she was not qualified to joust. The girl neared the deserted stone of selection and reached out for the sword without hesitation. Someone put face on this.
それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
Merlin jump scare. When she turned around, before her was the most feared Magus in the country. The Magus said that she would no longer be human once she took a hold of the sword. The girl only responded with a nod. Becoming a king means no longer being human. She was prepared for that ever since she was born. In short, a king is someone who kills everyone to protect everyone. The young girl thought about it every night and shuddered until morning came. No day passed that she did not fear that fact. But the girl said that it would end this day. The sword was pulled out as if it were only natural to do so, and the place was filled with light. In that instant, she became something not human. The king's gender does not matter. No one will care about the king's appearance or even notice it if the king acts like a king. Even if anybody noticed that the king was female, there would be no problem if she was a good king. Perhaps because of the sword's magic, the girl's growth stopped at that time as well. Many knights feared it as ominous, but most of them praised their master's immortality as divine. And thus, the time of the king who would become a legend started. The battles of the new king were indeed the acts of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Arturia, the god of war. There was no defeat for a body admired as a dragon in human form. For 10 years and 12 battles, she knew only victory. Short king for real, short king for real! Those were the days she ran through as the king. She never turned back and was never disgraced. She was raised as the king and fulfilled her obligations as the king. Is that why I saw such a figure? Her soul must still be on the battlefield. Before daybreak, resting her body in the wind under the indigo blue sky, she just gazes into the distance. The sky is high, and the clouds are flowing fast. Under the clear air, she is looking at the great army she must face with her sword in hand. That figure is burned in and will not go away. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone that chose the king. I think the brilliance of the sword that selected her fate is also her brilliance. But I wonder in the dream, That sword is different from the one she had. It is similar, but different. The one she used last night is different from this sword. So, how did she lose such a fine sword? So, yep, Saber is King Arthur. When I wake up, I'm in my room. It's light outside. I guess I fell asleep after coming back to my room, unable to make a decision. It was a strange dream. Events I shouldn't know about, things I don't know about Saber. Is it possible for me to dream about them? I vaguely think. Saber's true identity that was hidden. To be honest, I still can't accept who she is. Saber's just Saber. I can't change my attitude just because I know who she was before, and I don't think Saber would want that either. So mad at yourself, you thought it would be more obscure than that? No. Nope. Hi, Wind! Hello, welcome, welcome. The sword from yesterday suited her, but the sword in my dream also suited her. No, you could say I was fascinated. With yesterday's sword and the sword in my dream, it seems I fall for swords easily. Shiro, Swordfucker69, Emiya! I also thought Lancer's lance was beautiful when I saw it, but my interest in swords is exceptional. It seems I'm easily attracted to swords. I take a deep breath and reach up to my sweaty face. I wipe the sweat off my forehead. But hey, she's a gender icon. She is! Even though it's winter, my body is burning. It feels like my blood is getting hotter, and I feel restless. My body is menstruating. Some people are attracted to women, he's attracted to swords. Real. The hand that bears the command spell is hot, as if it's holding a pocket heater. I take a deep breath to try to calm myself. Out of context, it sounds so bad. Yeah. Oh, it gets better. It's gonna get better later. Saber has not woken up even once since last night. But it still seems she's getting better. Her breathing is calm now. Go to the horny fortress. Her breathing is calm now, and there's no sign she is gasping in pain. Saber is sleeping peacefully. This is an everyday morning scene. If I let her sleep like this, she might get back to normal. Then there will be no need to have her kill people. Oh, right. Saber, is, like, almost out of magical energy. She's at risk of disappearing. Then, just like now, Saber will be with me, and... I hit the wall. I'm so weak it makes me sick. I get up, trying not to make a sound. I don't know when Saber will wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Tosaka must still be asleep. There's no energy in the house, and it feels like it's abandoned. No, I'm just depressed. I can't decide, so I'm wandering around in a gray state, and that causes the world to be vague. I hear something cut through the air.
ただ庭の方からだけど今
I remember that sound. Yeah. I don't feel like cooking breakfast right now, so I'll take a walk and check it out. It's much colder than usual outside. It must be really cold if my burning body feels it. It's so cold that it might snow.
蔵の方からだなあれ
The sound is coming periodically. I cross the yard, breathing out white puffs. He's there in front of the shed. I guess I kind of knew he would be here, so I wasn't surprised. He must have been shooting arrows until now. He lowers his bow in displeasure as soon as he sees me.
物騒だな人んちの庭で弓なんて引くな矢が当たったらどうするつもりだ
どうするつもりもない。もとより矢など使っていないのだ。いていないものが当たる道理はなかろう。
Yep, it's him, the world's #1 hater. He doesn't need to tell me that. The sound was Archer's bowstring cutting through the air. I don't know why, but Archer isn't using any arrows, but only pulling his bow.
いい弓だな今まで納得いかなかったけどお前本当にアーチャーだったんだ
さて、私はお前が知っている弓使いとは違うからな。弓道など聞かれても答えられんぞ。お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじるもの
Oh
の
my
こと
god,
だ。
Archer, be quiet. Gonna dip out? Alright, have a good night, Sage. Thank you for stopping in. He curls his lips offensively. As I thought, I can't get along with him.
誰もお前に弓のことを聞こうだなんて思ってないよただ何をしているか気になっただけだ
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが、セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
I see. He's healed now. Then that means Tosaka should return to the war. I turn away. Since Tosaka and Archer are rejoining the battle, I must make a decision. I have to think seriously somewhere I can be alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
え
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
なんだよお前なんかに発説を解かれる覚えはないぞ
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Certainly, there are 8 movements in archery called the 8 stages of shooting. The last one, the follow-through, is the state that comes after shooting an arrow, but
ああそれがどうしたっていうんだお前
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為、放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。
Tane has completely taken over your brain. You listened to Farina's song and then found out that there was an official novelette version. You haven't been the same since. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's performed by Ayanga, who is the guy who sings Regression from Honkai Impact. So, ow.
ならば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
そんなことあるか どんなに当たるって思っても当たらないシャワーある。思うだけで当たるって言うんなら誰だって百発百中だ。
そうかな。少なくともお前は百発百中だろ。
His statement makes my heart jump. That's certainly...
まあそんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。花ならば
Oops.
斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
分かってる。要するに最後まで見届けろって言いたいんだろう、お前は。
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える。それはもう決まっていたことだ。ならば
All that's left is to accept the result. Is he saying that no matter what happens to Saber because of my decisions, all I can do is see through what happens? I turn my back to Archer. I will leave this guy once and for all.
あ、それともう一つ気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
I hear a voice behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
The usual offensive tone isn't present in his voice.
にもかかわらず宝具を使った理由は一つ。セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ。それを決して忘れるな。
His voice holds only honest sincerity. Status and weapons screen updated. Let's go check it out. As soon as it stops scrolling through backgrounds. Status. Saber. Yes, true name Arturia. Details. The once and future king, England's legendary hero, King Arthur. He is a hero well known as the model for knights, but it is said that he actually did exist. The real King Arthur was called Dux Bellorum, the King of Battles, and he was a great leader who led the 12 kings of northern England against foreign invasions by people such as the Picts and the Scottish. The identity of the real great leader, King Arthur, has many variations, and there is even an opinion that there were two people that correspond to the king. One was a pure Briton, Arthur, the other was a Roman, Arturius. This opinion states that the legend of King Arthur that is known today is one story, emerged from the accomplishments of these two. The legend of King Arthur is all too famous. The exceptional Magus Merlin prepared a sword and said, "Whoso pulleth out this sword of this stone is rightwise king of all England." When Arthur pulled out the sword, he was recognized as the king of England, and with the knights of the Round Table gathered around him, he went on many adventures. Arthur was the child of the king of Britain, Uther Pendragon. I think that's how you say that? Uther? I don't know. And the wife of his servant Duke Cornwall, the blue-eyed Igran. As a price for Merlin's assistance in ensuring the success of his love for Igran, he had to leave their child in Merlin's care. I will properly guide this child, one bearing a great destiny, and protect him from the crisis of the royal family. Merlin entrusted Arthur to Uther's loyal knight, Sir Ector, and Arthur was raised as his adopted child until the day he pulled out the chosen sword. The days of battle and troubles that followed after he pulled out the sword and became king became a great story of medieval knighthood. The great deeds of King Arthur, ruling over Camelot as the great king of knights, and saving England by leading many great men, are all one could ask for are all one could ask from a hero. Arthur's all too famous sword, the holy sword Excalibur, was not the chosen sword. Rather, it was the treasured sword of fairyland given to him by the Lady of the Lake under Merlin's guidance after he lost the chosen sword. After giving King Arthur the holy sword Excalibur, the fairy princess of the lake, Vivian, became his guardian. King Arthur's lifelong enemy, Princess Morgana, was an existence opposed to Arthur's guardian Vivian, but Morgana herself was also a fairy of the lake that protects the king. King Arthur ordered the Knights of the Round Table to search for the Holy Grail. In the King Arthur legend, the search for the Holy Grail comprised the core episodes in the story of the Knights of the Round Table, but only 3 knights were commanded to search, and King Arthur himself did not go on the journey. Of the 3 knights, the perfect Lancelot did not make it to the Holy Grail due to his unfaithful flirting, and his son Galahad did obtain the Holy Grail, but abandoned it due to his lack of greed. The end of the legend was marked by King Arthur's death. Arthur's life had been sought many times by the Princess Morgana, his older sister by a different father. At the end of the battle between him and the knight Mordred, born from Princess Morgana's scheme, his legend closes its curtain. King Arthur's fall started when his most trusted knight Lancelot disappeared after becoming ashamed about his affair with Arthur's wife Guinevere. Losing his trusted knight, losing the sheath of the holy sword, and even losing his own country while on a long expedition, King Arthur faced his last battle in the land of Camlan. The holy sword Excalibur was entrusted to Sir Bedivere on King Arthur's deathbed, and he returned it to the Lady of the Lake. King Arthur's corpse was carried by the Ladies of the Lake to Avalon, the land where heroes sleep. A legend is handed down that King Arthur will awaken from his sleep in Avalon when England is in peril, so that he can save his homeland. Arthur bears the red dragon that symbolizes the British people, and he himself has the attributes of the dragon. Since he has the karma of the dragon, the embodiment of divine mystery and the transcendent, he has strong magical qualities. On the other hand, he is weak against heroes who have defeated dragons in the past. Skill, charisma. Natural talent to command an army. It increases the ability of one's army during mass combat. Charisma is a rare talent, and a B rank is enough to lead a country. And we already read about Excalibur. I want to see. Okay, we got everything on Rider as well. Alright. Let us continue. The park— oh no, wait! The weapons! The weapon screen. Caliburn. Golden sword of assured victory. A holy sword that symbolizes England's King of Knights, King Arthur. It is the symbol of a king, pulled out from a chosen stone under the guidance of Magus Merlin. It is a different sword from the one granted by the Fairy of the Lake, and its characteristics as a noble phantasm differ. But it seems Saber is more attached to this holy sword. Since a sword is a symbol of power, a sword carried by a king usually ends up being degraded to the status of an ornament covered by decorations. This is the biggest difference between Excalibur and Caliburn. In exchange for being a beautiful sword, its effectiveness as a weapon does not match that of Excalibur. In the legend, it is said that it broke when King Arthur fought in a battle going against the principles of chivalry. Alright. The park is empty as usual. Maybe it helps that it's colder today than usual. There is no one around, and it looks like I'm the only one out at this time. I sit on the bench sluggishly. I came to a deserted place as I wished to. Now that I'm here, I must decide what to do. There are no choices that allow me to postpone the problem. If I am to end the Holy Grail War by defeating other masters, I need Saber to stay. No, even without that, I don't want her to disappear. But that means having Saber attack people, like Ryder did. There's no way I can do that. Making Saber do such a thing would be like telling her to die. First of all, Saber would surely refuse. But when I hang my head, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to follow my command. I bite my lip and discard the ridiculous thought. I don't know how long I remained slumped on this bench, but just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold, I'm suddenly called.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
As I start to say that, I'm amazed at my stupidity. Hang on. Yes, we have a potential bad end coming up very soon. If you want to see it, get those $5 in. As I start to say that, I'm amazed at my stupidity. Ilya is a master too. I shouldn't be worrying about this, and anyway, aren't we enemies?
悪い。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
Sitting down on the bench, I dismiss Ilya. There are things I need to talk to her about, but I have my hands full with Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything, and she just stares at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア、いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。それでシロはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Suddenly, the girl in front of me says this coldly, as if she's someone else.
イリア、
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シロがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
I move my legs. I know it's bad to stay sitting down, so I put my power in them to stand up. But my body does not move, as if entranced by Ilya.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
You remember last time when I said that if we had made a decision that we didn't make, we would witness Shinji's death?
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I try to move my arms and legs, but they won't move at all. No, it feels like they're stiffening the more power I put into them. It's those eyes. Looking into Ilya's red eyes is making my body go numb, and...
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
イリア、
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
Murderous intent mixes into Ilya's gaze. This is the same Ilya as that night, when she was the master of Berserker.
俺をここで殺すつもりか。
Gritting my teeth, I gather all my strength. But I can't even twitch my fingers. Every nerve in my body is wrapped by Ilya's stare.
うん。だって、もうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたら、シロは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。 戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Ilya raises her hand. Her white, slender fingers touch my chest.
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。
I'm sorry. I forgot about the fisheye effect.
それじゃあおやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
My vision fades. Sensation in my limbs is already gone, and now my vision is gone as well. How long has it been since I last fell into this darkness? While I wonder whether or not I'm dead, my consciousness fades away. I should not be laughing right now. No bitches. My body is burning. Even though my consciousness is deep in the darkness, my burning body is appealing that it is alive. I see. I guess I'm alive then. But even if that's the case, that's only for the moment. Ilya said it too.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
She's right. I can't fight it all without Saber. The Holy Grail War is a battle between servants. I cannot possibly match one of those servants. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. The fact has been proven many times already. It was a merciless beating. As Saber said, my battle against a servant is to survive. I couldn't even do that. I was cut all over my body, and on top of that, thrown to the ground from a third-floor window. I only survived because of an abnormality in my body that I don't even understand. That fact is so vexing that it makes me mad. I could not stop the disaster occurring around me just because the one in front of me was unbeatable. Even though I chose to fight. I chose to fight as a master to stop people getting hurt, but I could not protect them. It pisses me off. The superhero I've admired since childhood always has to win, or it's meaningless. My body is burning. My whole body is demanding that I must win. But I don't have any means of winning, nor a way to fight. How would I be able to fight? I don't have the skills to fight alongside Saber without being a burden to her.
それも間違いだ。エミやシローは格闘には向かない。お前の戦いは精神の戦い。己との戦いであるべきだからだ。
Suddenly, I remember the back of the man who said those words.
戦いになれば、エミやシローに勝ち目などない。お前のスキルでは何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
I know. I realize that more than ever now.
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。現実で叶わない相手なら、想像の中で勝て。自身が勝てないのなら、勝てるものを幻想しろ。
He doesn't need to tell me something I already know. If I'm going to win, it'll only be in my head. But what could I win with? I can't imagine myself beating a servant. I can't handily deceive myself, and an image created by deceiving myself will be full of flaws. There's no way I would be able to match a servant, a first-class illusion, with such a third-rate image. So, what will I be able to beat? And what will I beat it with? I am searching for the answer to that question. Searching for the answer even now. A golden sword. It's a sword for her alone. I don't want it myself. It's just beautiful. I just want to hold it in my hands, if it's permitted. Jeez, it's a bad habit for an amateur magus. Since all I can do is examine the contents, I see such dreams unsuitable for my position. But if this is a dream, I should be allowed to at least think about it. First, I assume the basic structure and reproduce the composing material. Oh, the basic form from when I used the strengthening magic isn't enough, as I thought. Strengthening is changing something that's already there, so it's meaningless without something that isn't there at all. So if I am to remember that sword, I have to put more effort into it. It's well before the basics. It's the process full of waste that I came up with before Kiritsugu taught me how to use the strengthening magic. It was... How was it supposed to take shape? When I come to, I'm in a ridiculous place.
なんだここ。
This isn't just some place I've never seen before. It has a bed with a gorgeous canopy and a long carpet that makes it look like you could sink to your ankles. A stone fireplace that is not just decorative, but actually functional. The patterns on the wall aren't just wallpaper, as they're actually engraved. I'm used to mansions like Shinji's house, but this is on a different level. It's embarrassing to say, but this is like a castle you'd read about in fairy tales. My mind almost falls unconscious. My body is strangely heavy. Is my blood circulating poorly? I feel like I'll fall asleep again if I let my guard down.
何がどうなったんだっけ?
I try to remember with my hazy mind. Oh yeah, I was bound by Ilya and lost consciousness.
イリアに捕まったってことか。
No one is in the room. My body feels heavy, but it seems I could at least raise my arm.
縛られてるぞ、ほら。
My dazed mind instantly awakens. Realizing the danger I'm in, I study my situation first.
椅子に座らされて手を後ろに回されてるのか。これは手錠じゃないよな。縄で手首を縛ってるだけか。
I'm not in the worst condition, but it makes no difference to the fact that I cannot move. My body is still numb, and I can't even get up with my hands tied.
あれからどれぐらい経ってるんだ。時計はないか、やっぱり。
There's no clock in the room. The window is behind me. I turn around as much as I can, but the curtain is draped over it and I can't quite tell what's outside. But the sun has already set outside. I met Ilya in the morning, so that means at least half a day has passed. I can't be doing this now. I don't know where I am, but I have to go home to Saber as quickly as I can. Saber is weakening. I can't trouble her by letting her know I've been kidnapped. I pull at my hands. Even if I am to run away, I have to do something about the rope tied behind my back first. The door opens. I release my power at the same moment she walks in.
あ、やっと起きたんだ。おはよう、お兄ちゃん。体は大丈夫？
Ilya is acting totally different from before. Her cold eyes are gone, and the Ilya before me is the white girl who was talking to me in that park the other day. I know that's not how he meant it, but it's still funny.
なんか元気ないけど、まだ体は動かない？おかしいな。そろそろ声ぐらいは出せるはずなんだけど。
She looks at me, tilting her head. It looks like she's just worried about me.
大丈夫だ。声は出るし、頭の方も自分が捕まってるってわかる程度にははっきりしてる。
I glare at Ilya. God forbid girls have hobbies.
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた敵はね、本当は地下牢に入れておくものなんだよ。けど、それじゃシローがかわいそうだから、特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
I don't know if I should be thankful or not. But anyway, I'm starting to understand the situation I'm in.
なんとなく状況は分かった。俺は捕まって、ここはイリアの住処ってわけか。
I say so sharply, killing my emotions. As long as I don't know the full details of the situation, I should listen for now.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森の後ろに住んでるんだって。ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シローが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
そうか。それは分かったけど、なんだってそんなことをしたんだ。俺を殺すんなら、あの公園でできたじゃないか。
なんで？私、シローを殺す気なんてないよ。シローは私のだもん。他のマスターは殺すけど、シローは特別。だから、誰も邪魔が入らないように、シローをここに閉じ込めたの。
I automatically lean back. Ilya puts her face close to mine as if not caring about my feelings.
イリア、ちょっと。
Sir. I don't think I want to read this part aloud.
やっぱりシローは特別。ねえ、私のサーバントになってみない？シローが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シローがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシローだけは助けてあげるよ。
I love Ilya, and I love the dynamic between Ilya and Shiro, except when the writers are weird about it. This is nothing half-hearted. Ilya's words are so pure that I won't be able to take it back if I nod. And if I do betray her, all her purity would probably turn into hatred. With Ilya so close to me, my confused mind freezes. This isn't just that she likes me. Ilya's question is asking me if I want to live or die.
考えるまでもないでしょ。シローにはもうセイバーはいないんだもの。戦う手段なんてないわ。
By the way, potential bad end is coming up very, very soon.
なら、マスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
違う。セイバーはまだ消えていない。そんなことさせるもんか。
けど、そんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。いいからシローはここにいればいいの。シローがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシローを守ってあげる。
Ilya snuggles up to me. I don't even have the freedom to push her away. I don't know what will happen if I disobey her, but I still can't nod to Ilya's words.
ダメだ。離れるんだ、イリア。どんなに言われても、俺は。
Ilya puts her finger up to my mouth. She smiles and looks up at my bewildered face.
もう、分かってないんだから。いい？今のシローは、カゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。10年も待ったんだもの。ここでシローを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて、そんなのつまらないでしょ。
Her voice sounds like a girl who wants a toy. I gasp, sensing a cruelty that sends a chill up my spine.
これで最後だよ、お兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
Her eyes are full of hope.
シロ、私のものになりなさい。
Ilya says so as if allowing no refusal. Last call. Last call. And we'll give it a couple of minutes. Alright. Okay, so the choice we need to make is to say... Oh, little guy. Oh, she's fucked up. Actually real. We need to say... I can't do that. I don't even need to think about it. And I can only take so much. Why does everyone think that Saber is disappearing? Saber won't disappear, and I'm going to fight with her until the very end. I can't undermine that oath with something like this.
イリア、お前の言うことは聞けない。俺にはセイバーがいる。セイバーが残っている限り、マスターとして戦うだけだ。
I hear her gasp. Her red eyes open for an instant like rigor mortis.
そう。あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
Ilya backs away. The girl looks down at me, not getting upset. I don't know, Shiro. She sounds pretty upset.
いいわ。シロが私の言うことを聞かないなら、私もシロの言うことなんて聞かない。今まで見逃してあげたけど、それもこれでおしまいなんだから。
Ilya's voice is filled with murderous intent. I feel an ominous tone to it.
待っていなさい。すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
待て、何をするつもりだ、イリア。
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シロも少しは後悔するでしょ。
バカなことを言うな。セイバーもトーサカも関係ない。俺は自分だけの都合でイリアとはいられないって言ってるんだ。
そうなの？けど二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら次はシロの番よ。私のものにならないのならシロなんていらないもの。
I support Ilya's rights and also Ilya's wrongs. She starts to go. She's serious. She's going to go kill Saber and Tosaka.
やめろ、イリア。セイバーもトーサカも関係ないだろう。捕まってるのは俺なんだから。憎いって言うなら俺だけにしろ。二人を殺す理由なんてない。
理由はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
バカ、簡単に人を殺すなんて言うな。お前にはそんなの似合わない。イリアはまだ子供なんだから、そんな真似だけはしちゃダメだ。
He doesn't know. After looking at me in amazement.
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
Ilya says so with a cheerful face.
もっとも、 それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。私、あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
God forbid kids have hobbies. At that moment, to my surprise, I clearly understand what she's talking about. Ilya said she was in that building last night. So, wasn't the master fleeing in front of her the perfect prey?
イリア、お前。
Ilya has done the world a great service by ridding it of Shinji. Everybody say thank you, Ilya.
ごめんね。シロがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
She doesn't sound guilty at all. For Ilya, it must have been nothing at all. That makes me realize. No, I should have known the last time I met her. This girl has no sense of good and evil. If the girl laughing innocently is Ilya, the girl laughing mercilessly is also Ilya. It's not like a devil and an angel are in her at the same time. It's just that Ilya is a devil called an angel.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシロの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
Ilya leaves the room. What she says is true. As she doesn't understand threats or haggling, everything she says is true. So I can't stay here forever. I have to escape and meet up with Saber before Ilya attacks her. I shake my body and try to loosen the ropes. She really must think I can't escape, as there's no one in the room. I can get out of these ropes by myself if there's no one watching, but... not working well enough. Even though I can move, my limbs are heavy as steel, and just moving them will run me out of breath.
イリアのやつ、これを見越して逃げられないなんて言ってたの。
Certainly, I can't move. Even if I can get the rope off, I won't be able to escape if my body won't move to my satisfaction.
体が重いのは疲れてるからじゃないよな。そっか。イリアの目を見て、それで動かなくなったんだっけ。
It must be what they call the mystic eyes. They say a superior magus is able to intervene magically with a target just by looking into their eyes. A common form of mystic eyes is binding, so this must be something like that. As eyes perceive visual information, their disadvantage is that they are weak against suggestion. Therefore, a magus usually casts some protection over their eyes to shut out others' magical energy.
呪文もなしの暗示じみた金縛りにやられるなんて、遠坂が聞いたらなんて言うか。
Well, they're just mystic eyes that are acquired with the use of magic. But I hear that monsters born with such eyes don't even need to look at the eyes of their target. These people exhibit their ability just by looking, but I hear such powers are rare. So, fortunately, it doesn't seem like Ilya's mystic eyes are the special kind. This is just an intervention, sending her magical energy into my body. Then there is a way to dispel myself. I can't move my body because Ilya's magical energy is invading my nerves. So, if I remove that magical energy, I will be able to move again.
単純な話だ。泥が溜まってるなら、水を流して洗えばいい。
Closing my eyes, I concentrate on the inside of my body. I don't have the skills to detect or remove someone's magical energy from within me. But such skills are unnecessary if the magical energy is not rooted in my body. If Ilia's magical energy is stagnant in my body, all I have to do is channel strong magical energy through me and push it out.
悪いな。乱暴なやり方だけど、あいにくそんなことしかできないんだ。
I apologize to my body as some consolation. All I have to do now is my daily routine. The ritual where I drive in a nerve into my back. No, it's not that anymore. There's no need to make a new one now. I can just push a switch inside of me. I don't have to make a magic circuit inside me as I just have to switch my nerves into a magic circuit.
トレース、オン。
I cast a spell to suggest myself. Spells do not do anything to the world. It is only something that one casts on oneself as one intervening with the world. Words are the best way to make your body transform. An order that only works on the self to create a divine mystery, a very simple magic called spell. I love this particular bit of world building because it means that that the words of a spell don't really matter so much as what the spell means to the caster. So mages who have very non-traditional training, like say Shiro, often come up with their own unique personalized spells. Shiro's got his Trace On. From other stuff, we have Flat, who has like Game Start, Game Select, that kind of thing. I love Flat. And then you compare that to like more traditionally trained mages who study at like the clock tower or whatever, and they'll all basically use the same spells because, you know, they learned in a more standardized fashion. It's really cool.
基本腰、解明。
My circulation speeds up. My blood gains power. My body turns into a device for pumping magical energy. It must be assistance from that jewel Tosaka made me swallow. The creation of magical energy usually takes me an hour, now only takes an instant.
構成材質。
Oops. I don't even need to push the switch. I can just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Well, I say push the switch, but I still haven't figured out where this switch thing is. The heat goes wild. Calmly controlling my speeding heartbeat, I let my hands go from the spinning cord. Blood spills out my mouth. Some vein must have been cut or something must have ripped inside me. I channeled enough magical energy to wash out the mud inside me, so it's fortunate if I only ended up coughing up blood. And to add, I don't feel any pain.
痛みがないのはあれかな。また例の自然治癒かな。
It's an abnormality I don't understand, but I'm just happy to have it at times like this. It's my greatest and only strength for any wounds to heal if they're not fatal. What I should be careful of is relying on it, because the cause is unknown. If I get myself injured relying on the healing might go away the next time. So I shouldn't rely on such a vague miracle.
よし。あとは縄だけだ。
I loosen the rope. My wrists are bruised, but my hands weren't tied tightly. I don't think it was Ilia that tied me up, but it wasn't tied too tightly. First of all, Ilia wouldn't be able to carry me here. Is there someone other than Ilia who isn't too strong?
バーサーカーは論外だ。あいつが縄を締めたら、その時点で俺の手首なんてへし折られてる。
I get up from the chair with a stupid remark. It's good that I can move freely now, but it seems the movement was too violent. I don't have any wounds, but magical energy is still raging inside of me. Just moving causes my body to be pummeled from the inside. It must be the pain. Dizziness and nausea assail me, and my limbs are senseless. I won't be able to get back home before Ilya like this.
何を弱気な。そんなこと言ってる場合じゃない。
I slap my cheeks and start walking. As I start to lean on the wall and head to the door, I hear a sound on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. A few of them, too. These people, approaching while talking, stop in front of the door.
見回り。くそ。なんだってこのタイミングで。
There's no time to hide. I should... What should we do? Do we get ready to fight? Do we sit in the chair and pretend to be tied up? Or do we try to hide? Over by the bed. What do we do? What shall we do? Sit in the chair? Alright. I'm in no condition to fight. I'll sit in the chair and pretend I'm tied up. I have no time to think. I don't have a chance of winning with this body, so I should avoid fighting until I feel better. I cross my arms and try to pretend that I'm tied up. The door opens. Is it Ilya or someone from the castle? Anyways, just before the person enters the room, I manage to sit down in the chair and put my arms behind my back.
無事ですか、シロ。
I'm stunned. I seriously wonder if this is just a comfortable illusion.
縛られているのですね。すぐに解きますからそのまま。
あ、いや、縄は溶けてるんだけど。
I stick out my hands to show her.
話が見えないのですが、シロはここで囚われていたのでは。
いや、なんとか自由になって逃げ出そうとしたところで誰か来たから、とりあえず捕まったふりをしてたんだけど。
なるほど。敵を油断させて脱出を確かなものにしようとしたのですね。
Saber is impressed. Well, I won't tell her that I didn't think about what to do after that.
それよりセイバーだよな。幻じゃない、本物のセイバー。
I get up and touch Saber.
シロ、待ってください。そのように触られては。
本物だ。あ、けどどうしてここに？
どうしてなんて、そんなことは言うまでもないでしょう。サーバントがマスターを守るのに理由はいりません。シロが囚われたのなら助けに来るのは当然ではないですか。
あ、いや、だからどうして俺が捕まったって知ってるんだよ。あ、いや、そんなことよりどうしてここにいるんだセイバー。ここはイリアの隠れ家だぞ。今のセイバーが近寄っていい場所じゃない。
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか。一
Go
人で
off.
行動するなとあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスピールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。
Go off.
シロはマスター失格です。この件については何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
確かにそれは軽率だった。けどどうしてセイバーがここにいるんだ。セイバー満足に動けないんだろ。だっていうのにイリアの本拠地に来るなんて何考えてるんだ。
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。サーバントはマスターを守る者。シロが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Saber speaks clearly. Her figure is just as it was before. It's different from the figure sleeping, weakened in pain.
シロ、どうしたのです。急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか。
いや、そうじゃない。俺のことはいいんだ。それよりセイバーこそ元気そうでよかった。
I've really regained my peace of mind. I'm surprised Saber's here, but I'm happy she's back to normal. It's just selfish prejudice. But I think Saber is meant to act like this.
すまなかったな、セイバー。事情はよくわからないけど、俺を助けに来てくれたんだろ。
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
ありがとう。お前が来てくれて本当に助かった。
I'm glad. There's no problem now. All that's left is to escape with Saber and... Hey. Why can I see Tosaka?
トサカ。
Is she really seriously there?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
This feels too easy. Oh, just wait.
だからそう言っただろ、リン。エミやシロなど放っておけと。
Getting in is the easy part. It's getting out that's gonna be a pain.
この手の男はな、周りに迷惑をかけるだけかけて、自分だけは生き延びるのだ。今回のはいい機会だった。見捨てておけば勝手に死んでくれたものを。
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターならサーバントもサーバントだ。協力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。まあいずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Saber falls silent as if he hit a sore spot. This guy, does he not get along with Saber either?
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね、あーちゃん。おしゃべりなんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
ちょっと待ってくれ。トサカたちはここがイリアの住みかだって知っててきたのか。いや、そもそも
Ilya went out intending to kill them. Then, does that mean Ilya and Tosaka missed each other?
助かった。今頃イリアはうちに向かってると思う。トサカたちがここに来てくれなかったらイリアと戦う羽目になってた。
ええ、そうみたいね。イリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。まあそうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
I see. Tosaka took such drastic measures because she knew Ilya went outside. She's as direct as ever, but that turned out for the best this time.
とにかく話は後よ。ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないんならそれに越したことはないでしょ。セイバーがそんな調子じゃバーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
Tosaka steps between me and Saber.
トサカ、セイバーがそんな調子ってどこがだよ。
What do you think she means, you idiot?
顔色もいいし、もう以前のセイバーじゃないか。
あなたね、そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。セイバーは全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？
リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
悪いわね、そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
それはそうですが、しかし。
She hesitates painfully. That makes me realize that her condition has not improved at all.
セイバー、今の話は本当なのか？
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。戦えない代わりにマスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょ。
My breathing stops. What is that? She's so weak she can't arm herself? What ridiculous things is she saying about being my shield?
すまないシロ。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも盾の役割はできます。不服だとは思いますが、今はそれで。
That's it. Why do you always think such stupid things?
ふざけんな。そんなの不服に決まってるだろ。遠坂、お前なんだってセイバーを連れてきたんだ。今は俺のことよりセイバーの方がずっと大事だって分かってたんじゃないのか。
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所は分からなかったわ。危険なのは100も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
お前それでも。
I start to yell that she shouldn't have brought her, but I stop myself. I'm in no position to criticize Tosuka. The root of all this was me getting captured. Tosuka and Saber did just what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も
Or
結
just
構
did
だが
what they
な。
thought was right.
今そこまでにしておけ、リン。マスターならば自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
そうね、イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。いいわ、話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、シロ。
シロ、私たちも。
いやけど。
If Saber's like she was last night, isn't it difficult for her to even walk? I can't let Saber push herself if she's in that state.
まったく。どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
セイバ
いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見ればシローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。リンは気がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
いやけどこんなのは大したことじゃない。我慢すれば持ちこたえられる程度だ。俺は全然大丈夫だぞ、本当。
では私もシローと同じです。苦しいですが我慢しきれないものではありません。突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今はリンに従いましょう。話をするのならそれは家に帰ってからです。
Saber urges me forward. Jeez. I can't even worry if she says so with such an expression.
そうだな。話したいことは山ほどあるけど、それは無事に帰ってからにする。
Yes, about Saber's body, and thanking her for coming to save me. That dream is not something I should ask her about right now.
よし、行こう、セイバー。
Nodding, I move my body earnestly. I sweat with each step, but I can't complain. Saber came all the way here with her weakened body. As soon as we leave the room, I gasp. Is this a hallway? From this museum-like hallway, I guess the building is really big.
ちょっと見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても外は一面樹海なんだから、急がないと朝になるわ。
一面の樹海？じゃあここ本当に山の中なのか。宮山町から車で何時間っていうあの樹海？
そう、アインツベルンの隠し城よ。この城から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜けるわよ。
Tosuka runs down the hallway without hesitation. I guess she's heading to the back entrance she snuck in through.
今が夜なのは知ってたけど、一体どのぐらい捕まってたんだ、俺は。
I thought it was only half a day, but it might have been longer.
シローがイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょう。それから半日が経過しています。日付は変わってしまいましたから、形の上では 丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
そうかい。面目ない。
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのにシロは無事でした。
それはそうかもしれないけど。
ええ、イリアスフィールは少女に見えてもアインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのならシロはシロではなくなっていたでしょう。私とてその可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟してこの城に足を踏み入れたのです。だからここでシロと再会できてよかった。マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから私も負けるわけにはいきません。
Saber says so with a faint smile. I feel the same way. I was so worried, wondering whether Saber was alright.
ちょっとやる気あるのかっていうのよ。もたもたしてると本気で先に行くからね。
Tosaka yells at us from the corner ahead.
やば、話してる場合じゃなかった。急ごう、セイバー。
I run, urging Saber on as well. Every step brings unpleasantness and pain as if boiling water is pouring into my veins. But I can run if I grit my teeth. Forcing my aching body to move, I follow Tosaka. Saber is running behind me as if escorting a sick person. She must be in pain. She's acting firm, but Saber's in no condition to move properly.
セイバー、苦しかったな。
I stop myself from asking her if she needs a hand. If I said that, Saber would stubbornly try to run on her own. I should just watch for now. If Saber looks tired enough that she can't make excuses, I can carry her then. Saber is really troublesome. This stubborn girl won't rest unless I do something that forceful. And so, following Tosaka's lead, we reach the exit of the castle.
出口って、ここ入り口じゃないのか、父さん。
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
Tosaka runs down the stairs. Well, I'm in no position to complain. Saber and I descend the stairs into the hall. I guess this is the lobby? So that must mean we'll be outside if we go through that large door at the end.
よし、ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど、まあ夜だし闇に乗じて国道まで出られるかな。イリアスフィールが戻ってきてシロがいないって気づいたところで後の祭りよ。あいつが帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。って何よシロ、その顔いかにも服そうだけど。
いや、別に。遠坂は大物だなって再確認してただけだ。
変なところでおかしな確認するのね、あなた。
Like entering the enemy's base from the main entrance, and the way she's acting so confidently.
まあいいわ。とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
Hang on one moment. Alright. I see. I was taking a look at the flowchart, seeing where we are in this scene because, or in this day rather, because day 11 is very long. A lot happens in this day. We head for the entrance. A long hall stretches from the lobby, and a large door can be seen on the end. It's amazing. The hall is about 30 meters long. I think to myself that this place really is a castle, and the instant I start to walk...
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？せっかく来たのに残念ね。
Yep. The voice of the girl who shouldn't be here echoes through the room with a faint laugh. I turn around instantly. Everybody stops. The instant I turn around and see the enemy, I understand that I will be killed if I turn my back on it again. Tosuka's voice is shaking. Across the hall, on the stairs we came down, is something that should not be there. It's strangely like the time before. Ilya is standing above us, with Berserker standing behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. As if I can feel the servant's strength now, I can understand how much of a monster he is. Or as I can feel the servant's strength now, I can understand how much of a monster he is. How absurd. He's not at a level Saber could match even in her normal condition. It probably wouldn't even be a fight. That thing is not something that can be beaten in battle. Defeating Berserker means eliminating it without fighting it. In other words, we should have avoided him if we didn't want to die.
こんばんは。あなたの方から来てくれて嬉しいわ、リン。
Ilya's voice is cheerful. That smile is the same as it was 8 days ago. Innocent and merciless emotion that will kill any insect she catches. I understand now. We won't be able to get away. I can't stop Ilya no matter what I do. Even if I can get Ilya's attention, that doesn't mean everyone else can get away.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
She giggles. But we don't have such composure. We will run for the entrance if there is an opening. Even though we know there will be no such chance, we can only wait for it.
じゃあ、一つ聞いてあげる。
But still, Tosuka takes a step toward Ilya.
イリアスフィール、あんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけど、もしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら？
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
そう。外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ。
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
The giant figure suddenly disappears. I don't know if it jumped or just moved there. Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby with a whirlwind. We're done for now. If we retreat, we'll be slashed in half the instant we turn our backs. But we'll be killed as well if we stay like this. The only path left is to challenge that mass of death, knowing it'll be pointless.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ、始めよっか、バーサーカー。
The girl raises her hand as if performing some kind of a ritual, looks down at us, and...
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
She declares so with delight and murderous intent. Light shines in Berserker's eyes. The servant that has obeyed Ilya up to now has his mind released and identifies us as his enemies. A gritting sound. Tosuka grits her teeth hard as if regretting something.
あーちゃん、聞こえる？
She murmurs in a quiet voice without turning around.
少しでいいわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
She orders her servant to die. Archer does not answer.
バカな。正気ですか、リン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。私たちはその隙に逃げる。アーチャーには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
Ignoring Saber, Tosuka continues her instructions. Her voice is cold, killing her emotions. Archer, who has been silent as if pondering something, quietly nods, and...
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば、私も逃げられる。単独行動は騎兵の得意分野だからな。
takes a step forward as if to protect Tosaka. Berserker does not move. Only Ilya's laughter can be heard from above.
へえ、びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。なんだ、案外可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
Neither Tosaka nor Archer has the composure for a rebuttal. Tosaka and Archer know that fact better than anyone else. Or better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He is empty-handed as usual. Tosaka is watching Archer's back. She must not have anything to say to him. Tosaka should know her command is unreasonable, because she told her servant to die so that we can escape.
あーちゃん、私。
Tosaka starts to say something, but...
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Archer interrupts her words in a cool voice unsuited to the situation.
いいわ。何？
Tosaka looks at Archer with a downcast look, still looking at Berserker.
ああ、時間を稼ぐのはいいが、別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろう。
Archer says something unexpected.
あーちゃん、あんた。ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、あーちゃん。
そうか。ならば期待に応えるとしよう。
Archer moves forward. There are only 10 meters between him and Berserker. That thing should be able to close that distance in an instant.
バカにして。いいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつ、バラバラにして構わないんだから。
Ilya speaks in a hysterical voice. Tosaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出れば、それで私たちの勝ちになる。
Tosaka starts to run, taking both Saber and my hands. Saber follows Tosaka without objection. I start to run to the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But from behind me,
エミヤシロ。
he stops me, still with his back to me. I turn around, letting go of Tosaka's hand. In the lobby, not far away, is the back of the man facing Berserker.
いいか。お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Berserker charges. Archer stares at his enemy without backing off, still empty-handed.
余分なことなど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろう。ならば、その一つを極めてみろ。
Archer raises his hand. I don't know when he got it, but in his hand is that short sword.
忘れるな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
The red back sinks. Berserker's attack rages. I start to run without seeing the clash of the two. Tosaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run without turning around. The red back tells me to just go. And I think that brings us to a decent place to perhaps wrap it up for the day. And then do the rest of day 11. next time. Because like I said, this day is really freaking long. And I don't really feel up to doing it all in one sitting. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. So, thank you to everybody who came by today. Tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure yet what we'll be doing. Could be more Fontaine exploration, could be the event that's going on in Genshin, could be, the event that's going on in Star Rail. I'm not sure. We'll see. I will... next Friday, we'll be picking this back up with the rest of Day 11. It's going to be a very exciting and eventful, stream. Yeah, I think that's about all I gotta say this time around. So, I will see you all next time.